Okay, so I've been overthinking this whole YouTube thing for so long now, and I'm so glad that I can finally get started with making videos and just sharing and documenting my experience. So here it goes. So basically, I've been working in finance for the past 4 years now, and I've learned quite a lot working with different banks, different clients, even working as a broker as well. So I've dealt quite a lot with a whole range of people, and I've learned quite a lot that I would like to share with you guys and pretty much document my whole journey. And by the way, if you somehow found this channel by accident, please stick around. I know your time is very valuable, so I'll try my best to make it worth your while. And if you found my channel by watching my TikTok videos, then thanks a lot for coming along. I'm gonna go through in depth with what I talked about on TikTok and really go in deep with all the topics and really just explain everything that I talked about on there. So hey guys, my name is Fyzee, and in this video, I'll go through some goals which I've set for myself in 2021. But before I do, I just want to talk to you very briefly about 2020. So if this pandemic has taught us anything, it's that we should not take things for granted, especially the people which are the closest to us. At least that was the biggest lesson for me. Because when it comes to relationships, realistically, the only people that are closest to you matter the most. And that was the biggest lesson for me. What about you? But the second biggest thing that I learned was the importance of money. Now we can try and run away from the fact that money isn't really important, and what's important is our well-being and the well-being of those that are around us. And that's a fair point. But although that's important, and I'm not going to disagree with you, I would also argue that money is equally important in this whole equation that we call life. It allows us to have clothes to wear, food to eat, water to drink, and shelter to live in. And if you really look at it, in a lot of ways, money actually contributes to our well-being. Therefore, we shouldn't just ignore it. Instead, we should talk about it more and be open about money and really drive the conversation. Working in finance, I dealt with so many people that were just about to lose their job or had lost their job already. I would speak to one customer this week, and next week I would find out that they have lost their job, and I can't really do much to actually help them out. And around Australia, there were thousands of customers looking to refinance their home loan, save on their interest rate, to somehow lower their repayments and actually have some money left over for necessities. And unfortunately, when you don't have a job, it's much harder to actually refinance and actually put yourself in a better position. So dealing with that firsthand really just made me realize the importance of money. Now, of course, that's very confronting, and just knowing the fact that they don't actually have a lot of money in savings, that's actually very sad to hear. In 2020, at least 1 in 4 Australians were pushed onto JobKeeper, and to put it in numbers for you, that's over 6 million people. Now, of course, these people have bills, mortgages, rents, and other commitments that they can't pay anymore. Now, what happens then is that the bank gives them the opportunity to have a 3 to 6 month home loan deferral. Now, what does that mean? Basically, it means that they don't have to pay their home loan for 3 to 6 months. Now, it's good for the short term, but looking at it long term, interest keeps accruing for all those months on that loan. So when these customers actually get off that deferral, they're actually in a much worse position than they actually started off with. So naturally, they end up paying more. In Australia, over 700,000 loans were deferred. And this totaled over $200 billion, just to show you the extent of the damage. And to top it all off, you see all these news channels pushing out content on YouTube, TV, Facebook, pretty much any platform that they exist, just putting out negativity and just shock news. And you would see a bunch of scary articles trying to scare everyone and just contributing to the overall negativity. So why exactly am I talking about 2020 when all of that is behind us and hopefully this is going to be a good year? Well, because personally, it was a wake-up call for me to actually look into my finances in more detail and actually realize what it is that I want to do moving forward and how I can make my finances better for the years to come. And this whole crisis made me realize the importance of money in times of crisis and just in general. Now, I was quite lucky and fortunate to actually have a job throughout this whole crisis, and I even had the opportunity to increase my income throughout the whole COVID period. But despite that, I learned that having a steady stream of income through your full-time job and part-time job is very important for survival and other needs. But the ultimate goal should be to generate a steady stream of income so you get paid whether or not you work. At least that's my view. In a perfect world, your time would not be tied to your income. You would just have money by default and you wouldn't even need to work. You would just have things. Isn't that great? But the thing is, we don't live in a fantasy, and it's our job to create a system where we can generate income without actually working. At least that's my view. And there's many ways to go about this. It takes absolute time, effort, and dedication, but it is possible to those who actually want to go after it. So I'm documenting my experience to hopefully achieve that. And I hope that you can learn a couple of things, and I would love to learn from you as well. Okay, so enough of all that. Let's get into 2021 and the goals that I've set for myself moving forward. So when I was thinking about what I want to aim for, I looked at two main things. Number one being my income and number two being my expenses. I looked at some major expenses that I could have this year along with my usual expenses, and I looked at my after-tax income as well. But even after doing that, I'm still a bit unsure because there's still a couple of expenses that could happen which I'm not sure if I will actually spend money on them. For example, buying my very own first car. I still haven't done that. Or going on a holiday overseas after like 2 years, which is going to be amazing. Hopefully, if restrictions allow that. So after taking all of that into account, I should be able to realistically put away 40K per year into the stock market or invest it somewhere else. Now that turns out to be about 3,333 per month. But I really want to make sure that I can round that off to 3,500 so it's like a nice and whole number. But let's just see how it goes. I really want to make sure I can take advantage of the dollar cost averaging strategy to hopefully put away small increments each month and compound it over time. So that's the first goal. So this estimate doesn't actually include any side hustles or any bonuses that I might get from work. And the reason why is because those things are not really guaranteed. It's more of a cherry on top sort of thing. So if it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter because I haven't really accounted for that anyways. So I've been tracking my net worth for the last couple of years now, and the net worth goal that I've set for this year is actually a bit higher than what I can actually achieve right now based on the current plan. And the reason why I've done that is to just challenge myself to find new and creative ways to actually generate income to hopefully get to where I want to be and see how I did overall. So that's going to be very interesting to see what actually happens, and I'll keep you guys updated. Sometime this year, I want to buy my very first investment property because interest rates are ridiculously low right now, and hopefully they stay low for a while. Hopefully. I want to capitalize on this opportunity, and I'm going to document the whole process as well. So pretty much these are the two main financial aims that I have for this year, and the other two aims that I have are more social media based, so let's go into those. So basically with this YouTube channel, I want to try and make 150 videos this year. That's about 3 videos per week. And to be very honest with you, it's going to be fairly tough because I am working full time, plus I'm making videos on TikTok as well. By the way, follow me on there because there's good content on there, trust me. But sometime this year, I am expecting that I will be going back into the office, which will mean that there's going to be a whole lot of more travel time, which is going to be very, very difficult. So let's see what happens there. But making 3 videos per week while working full time is not impossible. There's people that have done it and I just need to focus. So let's see. So lastly, I want to double down on TikTok and make at least 300 videos this year, which is double the amount of YouTube videos. Now, to be fair, TikTok videos don't really take a lot of effort to make, but I do want to make sure I put in the effort in those videos as well. So with these 300 videos, I know there's some crazy people on TikTok that can make this amount of videos in like a couple of months or even like 1 month. But I just want to take it slow and see how that goes. So there it is, guys. It's going to be a full-on year and I'm going to show you the whole journey. I'm going to try and make the most of it, and none of this video was to brag or anything like that. It's just to document the experience and see how it goes. And hopefully through these videos, I can inspire more people to actually talk about money and actually start investing and learn more about personal finance. If you're still watching, thank you so much. Please like, share and subscribe. My next video will be out in 2 days' time and I'll see you there. Thanks. Forgot to wear the mic.